Welcome to the Big Metal Detecting Podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dave Sadler from the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine and from the Big Metal Detecting Podcast. Our apologies this evening. All Metal Mode UK has gone a bit Pete Tong over in America, and Mike can't connect, and unfortunately we've had to transfer the show over here. So hopefully you'll be coming over from the other channel. And at the same time as I'm actually talking, I'm also trying to let people know that the show is altered. So in news this week, first and foremost, for people who are interested, Minelab have just yesterday released an update for the Equinox series. I think it's the 800, might be the 600, definitely know it was the 800. Didn't read it fully, I'm afraid, but Luke's asked me to point that out. It's been another busy week. I've had a week off work, so I've been able to get out and about doing the metal detecting. Done one of the metal detectorist's most silly things yesterday by keeping my box open. I dropped a lovely hammered silver like a piece of jewellery and lost that completely. So unfortunately that was the case, and I'm erring and umming as to say I'm trying to promote this at the same time as. So if you give me 1 minute to do that, and I'm sure we'll be back to normal. So tonight's guest, two gentlemen that I met recently at Detectable, lovely gentlemen. I helped them set up a gazebo, thinking they were just people helping the stall owners of Quest, and it turned out there was actually a YouTuber and the owner of a company. To which I obviously apologised for thereafter, and we cracked on, and I helped them anyway. So tonight's guest, we have John Bradbury, who's a long-term metal detectorist for many, many years. Am I right, John?
That's correct, yeah, 30 years.
30 years. And a much younger person indeed, Carl Midgley from Spinner Disc Metal Detectors.
Hello.
Good evening, both. How are you both? Well?
Yeah, fine, yeah. Yourself?
Marvellous. Obviously, we are a little behind schedule tonight with the results of the failure in Mike's system over in the US of A. But as I say, we will be back in business with no time, I suggest. Thankfully, this was one of the reasons that the Big Metal Detecting Podcast was launched. So, John. In fact, I've got to go to Carl first, John, because your stories will be here for weeks, I'm sure. So, Carl, Spinner Disc Metal Detectors. It was your dad's business originally, I take it. Tell us a little bit about the history of Spinner Disc.
Well, yeah, you probably wondering where the name comes from. My dad, he opened it was a discotheque shop. That's where the Spinner Disc comes from. So, and that was in the late 60s, I believe. And then he went into the metal detecting into about the 80s. Mid-80s, so just over 30 years, and I took over in about 5 years ago now. He wanted to retire, but he's still not retired. He's still still a thorn in my side. But yeah, he helps out. So yeah, but that's about it really.
So are you I know, but for the listeners' sake, are you an internet-based company, or do you actually have a shop?
No, we're premises and internet and everywhere. You find us anywhere, yeah.
So where's the shop?
Halifax.
Marvellous.
West Yorkshire.
Is it just metal detecting supplies, or are there other things that you sell?
No, it's just metal detecting, yeah, so books, anything to do with metal detecting.
And it's busy?
Oh yeah, never been as busy.
Really?
It's all new products that come out, so it just keeps the interest going, doesn't it?
Wow.
But yeah, and obviously all the events that we have going on, it's like my dad's been in it years and years, and he said he's never seen it as popular.
Well, I'm sure John will agree as well of how popular metal detecting is in the current world, never mind in the UK.
Oh yeah, well it wasn't so common when I started out. It was a bit sort of underhanded until the laws changed in 1990, where it we could detect without no problem, and the law changed to our advantage, which was great. And we never looked back, but slowly took off as time went on. I think it's all to do, obviously, with computers and advertisements, and it just got stronger and stronger, and technology improved as to what we've got now. It's brilliant.
Now, one of the things, well, the main thing that I know you from, both of you currently, is the Quest product. Carl, I take it you're one of the main suppliers, if not the only supplier in the UK of the Quest product.
Yeah, we import them, yeah. So it's been here about 6 months now. The Quest.
And where do they originate?
I think they're China / America, but I think the product's made in China like most things, and then shipped to America, assembled in America, and then shipped wherever they want to ship them. It's like most things. They say made in USA, but if you look deep into it, they're all made in Malaysia, China. It's where everything's done these days.
And are you selling many?
I sell a lot of it, yeah, quite very lot, yeah. So especially the pinpointers and accessories, sell loads of them.
Yeah, it's surprising because, as I said, last year was the first time I'd actually heard of Quest when I met them at Detectable last year, and obviously this year they had a much more prominent place. They had a bit more going on. Obviously, yourselves were both there, and it seemed from what I saw, there was a chap from Holland along with the two company owners, and he was doing a bit of. I think he's a YouTuber. Am I right?
That's right. Yeah, Rude is a YouTuber demonstrator like I am.
Yeah.
Well, I've become one, and learning the machines and to show people how they work, because like any new technology, it's okay getting the technology, but it's understanding how it works and the features and how to filter out rubbish, and that's the problem with new technology. It's learning the machine quickly enough to get out there and find some decent finds. And so my job was to take the machines out, learn them, and then do some YouTube clips together to show people how to set them up, and hopefully from there they can then find some great targets without much hassle and trying to learn, because people just don't like to take time to learn something. They just want it quick, instant, switch on and go, but all set quickly, and that's what, and the inventing of YouTube has been brilliant for people taking lessons in that very quickly.
Now, as Carl will know, because he listens to the show quite regularly, he'll know I'm a complete technophobe. So the type of machine that you can pick up and go and play with straight away is perfect for me. So obviously there's many more people who that would be perfect for as well. Have you had much luck with it, John, with the Quest itself?
Well, the first time I took the Quest Pro, which is the top of the range machine, I had Carl and Stu come up to one of my sites, and the funny thing was I'd learnt the machine a little bit, got used to it, and decided to put it in action on the field. And between us, we were detecting on this just normal pasture land, and I think within 20 minutes, a bit of a shock for me. I had a cracking coin, Victoria Half Crown, 1887. What a beautiful coin to find for the first time, just to test the machine out. So that's on YouTube. It's on one of my channels. Bit excited. I get excited to find some nice stuff.
Carl, the product, the range of the Quest themselves. Obviously, there's got a beginner's level, and he's just mentioned John's just mentioned the Pro. What is the range itself?
Well, they start like really simple, which is where you can basically just turn it on and use it, and it works really well. And then you go up to like the more advanced, but the Quest Pro, they're phasing that out, and I believe it's the Q60 what's replacing it, and that will be similar to like your Amphibio. That's multi-frequency, selectable, underwater. So yeah, they do something for everyone. There's a machine for everyone there.
And what is the Sorry, John, carry on.
Yeah, sorry, that Q60, well, we took it out for a test run, me and the guy from Holland, Rude, took it out for a bit of a test run to see what it was like, but like again, they just changed the technology on that one, and it took us about an hour or two just to try to understand which buttons and how to adjust it all. Eventually, because it was just making that much racket on the Q60, it does need a bit of fine tuning. So it's gone straight.
And you have no user manual.
No, I just like to pick the machine up and mess about with it. You know, if I've got to use a manual, it's got to be a last resort. And when we walked on the field down at the Detectiveville with it, me and Rude, and eventually, after so much time, it was making so much noises, pinging and panging and all sorts of stuff. And then Rude, I like it pretty noisy. I says, well, I don't. I like it to beep when it's a target. And he disappeared for something to eat, and he left it with me. So it took me about 45 minutes to figure it out, and then eventually I calmed the machine down, and away it went, and I was finding buttons and lead and various things.
You come back
and I'm just getting used to it. Just getting used to it. And then the battery ran out. Anyway, it's gone back to the manufacturers for a bit of a fine tune, and we're just waiting for it to be developed in a couple of months' time. I can't wait to get my hands on it to have another go.
Fantastic. So, did you find anything of consequence, other than the Victorian going with that?
Oh yes, I found hammered Edward penny of 13. I think it's around about the 13th century. I've had loads of Victorian pennies, George III pennies, silver sixpences, the general stuff that I call, that we get with it. So I've had a good innings with it. At the moment now, we're going to take the Quest Pro, because it's still a good machine, to Ibiza to do a test in the water and see how it performs there. So me and Carl's dad are off to Ibiza next Tuesday for 11 days to give it a good test to see if we can find any gold jewellery out of the sea with it, and that'll be another test that'll be put up on YouTube.
Bit of dancing at night.
No. When you've been in the water 6 hours, you're a bit called tired. So it's chill out time and ready for the next one, because it's unfortunately it ain't party time. It's up at 7, breakfast in the water till 12:30, quick snack, back in the water again till 6, and then shower and chill out, have a meal. And that's generally our routine. Now, for some people it's horrifying, but for us it's heaven. We just love it. I just love being in the water in some beautiful sunshine weather where the water's nice and calm, finding euros, gold, silver and other stuff. Just love it.
So we're obviously going to get onto that a little bit more later on.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Obviously your stories are going to take about 3.5 years to get through.
Yeah,
so
we'll have to do it stage by stage, because there's so much that's happened to me. I mean, I can tell you one of the stories abroad if you want me to do.
You help yourself. Bang away.
Yeah. Well, it's one where I was with a group of friends out in Mallorca, and 4 of us in the water. It was dinner time. 3 days in dinner time, and we thought, we better start making his way back to the apartment, because it's time to have something to eat, refuel, and take a chat on what we found. And 3 of us got back into the flat, started having something to eat, and the 4th one was missing. And it was an hour, 2 and a half hours later, the 4th person came through the door, absolutely knackered. I said, "Where the hell have you been?" He said, "You won't believe what happened to me. It's just I was turning up to follow you back, and this beautiful model of a woman with 2 security guards came up to me, speaking in a foreign language, pointing in the water. So I didn't understand the word she said, but I think I lost something in the sea." Anyway, this chap came up, he said, "I'll translate from Swedish to English if you want." And my mate said, "Yes, please." Anyway, this guy's eyes just got larger and larger as the conversation went on, and he turned around and said to my mate, "Well, you won't believe what she's lost. She's lost 22 carat solid gold sunglasses, about 17 grand. And he's been spending all this time to try to find them." I says, "I've noticed you didn't give us a shout to help you, I said to him. Anyway, unfortunately, he didn't find them. That's just one little story that I'm going for.
And he was going to come and tell you, obviously, because of the beautiful lady and the multi-thousand-pound glasses.
Yeah. So yeah, that's somebody's probably picked that up and don't even know what they've got. They just think, oh, these look nice and wear them.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, 22 carat, they don't have they've rated the really smallest hallmark of the trader, but they don't have a lot of detail of the 22 carats. They just be fancy, thinking, they're just bling or something like that.
Yeah.
I wonder where they are now.
Well, we've got obviously Mike. He's in the chat room supporting us tonight, obviously because his system's got a bit kibosh in America. We've also got Gareth Howard listening, who and both want to learn a little bit more about the Quest machine. So if we can get back to that for a little bit, Carl. We mentioned the range, and I saw about 4 or 5 different Quest machines at Detectable. So I take it there's a range of growing in ability from the starter machine to the Pro currently.
Yeah, there's some up to like any sort of age range or expertise level. It's a bit of everything, but there was 2 there that they didn't have what they promised to bring. And there was John will probably be able to tell you that, the Q30 and Q50.
Yeah,
they didn't have them there, but they promised. They said to me before, he said I've got them on plane with me, and I got there. They weren't there. So we're a bit of a bummer.
And you also mentioned pinpointers, so I take it there's other additional things apart from the machines.
Yeah, they do, and headphones, wireless headphones. What else? Pinpointers, underwater, the scuba detectors. They're like a really big seller. They're one of the biggest sellers we've got of them. It's like a little handheld. It'd be similar to the pulse dive.
Yeah.
Similar to that, but yeah, come out way before pulse dive.
You got your little digger as well there, Carl.
And they're working on a new one apparently.
Oh, brilliant! So obviously in Europe the Quest are bigger than it currently is in the UK.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger in Europe because they like cheaper stuff, don't they, Europeans? Compared to us, we like to spend a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I say, it's pretty big over here. It just takes a while to get something going, doesn't it?
We at the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine, we actually helped to push with the Rutus when the Rutus originally came into the country, and so we've seen them starting in the country and obviously getting bigger and bigger, and hopefully what we did with them helped them to achieve a bit of that.
I think what you find over here is no dealer wants to take new products on because it means they've got to carry more, so they won't try push it as much, but then when it gets following they'll jump on and that's when it takes off. Like I said, it's similar to Macro. I think me and LP we were the first ones to bring that into the country and nobody wanted to touch it. And
really?
Obviously they got that. Oh really, yeah. Yeah, a lot of dealers didn't want to know. And obviously it got bigger and bigger. Now everybody carries it.
And now Dilek's got hold of a little bit of a monster there.
Oh yeah, she has now. Yeah, that Simplex. It's going to be a cracker. That
a monster as well as a mermaid.
That's it. Yeah, a bit both. But yeah, like I said, when it finally comes out, it's going to be a big seller.
So your shop itself, I take it you stock other machines also.
Yeah, every brand apart from Fisher or Technetics. That's the only ones we don't stock.
And do you have like access to test beds and things like that, or is it just on the shelf?
Well, we do at the minute because it can go around the back it's like a garden area, but we're currently in process of moving, and that won't have a test bed. You can have indoor tests.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we need bigger premises.
I'll have to hit the road and come visit one day. It's only I think it's only about an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
It's not far. Come over when we get new premises. You come over for the grand opening.
Oh, I will. Well, that'll cover it for the do a live podcast from there as well.
Yeah. The date.
Well,
don't be like that. Not in your minion pajamas.
Not in the minion, no.
You could actually have a giant minion open it for you.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? I could bring the 2.
Metal detecting minion, that could be your new. Do you actually metal detect yourself, Carl, as well?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah. When I seen you at Detectable, that day I'd landed from Spain. I've been in Spain doing it all week.
So as well as like John, you quite often in Europe metal detecting as well?
He goes a lot more than me. He's got more time.
Yeah.
He's out every day.
Yeah. So, John, you've been metal detecting for 30 years. What started your hobby?
Well, I used to be a fisherman, and I decided to track a friend of mine that used to go fishing. He'd got married and had got some kids, and I thought, and we grew up together from junior school to secondary school. And I thought, right, I'll just see if my mate Keith is about. And I knocked on his door. I says, "Hiya, mate, how you doing? All right? Fancy doing a bit of fishing?" "Oh, come in." "No," says, I don't go fishing no more." I said, oh, what do you do?" This says, "I go metal detecting." I says, "What the hell's that?" He says, "Just hang on a minute." Sit down there. Went into a room and pulled out this big like coin book. And he says, "Oh, that's Victorian shilling. That's a hammer of Edward IV. That's George III. That's a penny of this." And just a massive collection of coins. And I went, "What?" And that were it, really. I sold all my fishing tackle, got my first machine, never looked back, really. Unfortunately, the first machine wasn't a good one because I got it second hand, and it didn't work because I ended up taking the machine out first time to Leeds Harewood House in West Yorkshire, and the Halifax club where I knew Stuart, that's Carl's dad, had arranged all this detecting meeting. And when I got there, there must have been about 30 of us, and everyone was digging away, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm not getting any targets here. I decided to test the machine, and it wasn't making a signal. I thought, I don't believe it. Prime site, not making any noise. Anyway, I decided to take the machine in bits over an oak tree and tapping it in that, and I think the innards had just split, or the electric board inside had split and making a bad connection to the battery. Anyway, while I was there, this guy from about 10 foot away said, "What's the matter, John?" I said, "I'm having a problem with the machine." "I'll come over a minute and have a look." He says, "But I'm just digging this out." I says, "All right then." So I'm messing about with the machine, and then this guy went to his knees and said, "Oh, that's all right." And I'm looking over. Said, "What's okay?" He says, "Oh, just found something interesting here. Digging it all out. And I put my machine down. I had to go over and have a look to see what he found. And he found this gold oval brooch. On the top of the gold oval was a crest of a crown. Around the edge of the brooch was encrusted in diamonds. In the middle, dropped away, was RGH in lettering, and that was encrusted in diamonds. And on the crown was one ruby and 2 emeralds. And I went, holy Toledo's, that is absolutely to die for find, you know. Anyway, eventually took it away. The Halifax Club couldn't wait for it to come back and explain what it were all about. He got the book from the library, and it was a brooch, 17th century brooch. It was in the book, the Royal Horse Guard. What a find. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Sounds it.
So
sounds it.
That's 30 years ago now. I don't know where it is now.
So, following on from that, you've continued metal detecting numerous machines over 30 years, I take it?
Yeah, I've had loads of different machines. I got into, just at that particular point, the same guy who found the brooch announced in the club, he said, me and my mate are going to go abroad with a non-waterproof machine. We're going to try it out. Never been in the airport. We don't know whether we're going to get stopped, but we're going to go try in Mallorca on the beach. And we're all anticipating, thinking, oh, this is interesting. He shot off for 2 weeks, came back with a load of money and gold. And he says, we're off back again, and they just kept pulling money and gold out of the beach. And I think after a certain amount of time, they pulled quite a lot of stuff out. It just so happened at that particular time, also, Fisher brought out a new waterproof machine, the Fisher Aquanaut. Well, that's all like hotcakes. people just wanted to go abroad. They saw what was in the water, on the beach, and the aquanaut. The aquanaut was then, because the question was asked. Well, if that's what's on the beach, what's in the water? Well, aquanaut was the answer, straight in the water, and just so much stuff was coming out. That's a long time ago now, and they're just pulling stuff out, money and coins and everything else that went with it. Well, I had many machines. I had the for the water, I had the White Surfmaster for a while, the Aquanaut, and then I moved on to the Fisher's CZ20. I've had a Laser B2 Tesoro, and then eventually I moved on to the XP Go Max, which I didn't really like. And then moved on to the Minelab machines, which was the Excalibur 2 and the CTX. Had some problems. Now the Excalibur 2 was a cracking machine, and the reason why I moved to that is because I went out with another friend to Mallorca, and he had the Excalibur 2, and I had the white dual field PI machine. I thought, this is going to be the bee's knees. It's a bigger search head, going to go down deeper. And walked into the water, and my mate was running rings with the Excalibur, just money, gold, money. And now we're just digging. Because everybody should know, everybody might know that it's a PI. You're digging everything out, iron, everything that's all iron or metal. You dig out, or it will target on that. And so my bum bag was just like €27, and he got €75 with a gold ring in between it. And I think it took me a week to realise, no, I ain't going to have another PI. I think that was brand new. I sold that and moved on to the Excalibur 2 for the water. Never looked back at that time. What a lovely machine, cracking machine, once you've got it set up. And I was doing very well with it, to be honest. And then, of course, you see, what I wanted to do, I wanted to combine one machine for the land, another machine for the water together. Well, that's when they brought it up, the CZ, the CTX 3030. I thought, that's the machine I want. I want one that does everything. Unfortunately, it was great on the land, great on ploughed land, but unfortunately, when I took it abroad, it leaked, totally destroying the machine. And wasn't happy with that, so I'm afraid it. And then my brother brought his. He brought his to it, and his leaked as well through the battery. And I thought, nope, we ain't having that machine. So after, I think, 18 months or maybe 2 years, sold that and moved on to the Equinox and never really looked back, to be honest. I love this thing. So light.
So, how do you think the hobby's changed since you started 30 years ago?
Technology. You see, right at the beginning, there wasn't armrests, or not a well-designed armrest, the crook handles. The inner technology was basic. You've got more display with different programs. You can fine-tune it now to your specifications for different environments. It's got lighter, better technology, because that's what you're after, and deeper. And that's what people want. They want deepness, detecting a wider area. So I've got the 15-inch search head, and so's Cal. And I did have the 11 on the Equinox, and I would go back to 11. I just love the 15-inch search head on the Equinox. It's just very, very deep. I mean, when I first got it, I went out on a particular field which I'd done quite a few times, and I think a friend of mine found one Roman coin, and I brought the 15-inch search head onto this bit of patch of land, and I got 7 drone in a row, and then the machine went bang to a high number, and I got this tracking signal, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that's silver or whatever, because usually a higher number, certain number over 21 plus is silver. Anyway, I'm digging down, and I dug around this round piece of stone. I must have spent 20 minutes digging around the stone before I even got to the target. And I pulled this round piece of stone out, and it was a Roman stone quern. I couldn't believe it. Roman stone quern. Pulled that aside, and the target was still down. So I went down and down, you're talking 14-incher went down, and out came this Cistertes of Constantine I in cracking nick underneath that stone quern. And I thought, I love this machine. It's bloody brilliant, you know. And it just pulled. I just kept going deeper stuff, and never really looked back, you know. It does take, when you do actually find the target, you do dig a slightly bigger hole and not a little small incision like keyhole surgeonry. But it's worth it in the end, you know, because you're covering a wider area and going down deeper, and that's what it's all about. Detectors want to go down deeper with a light machine, to be honest.
Yeah, I hear you there. Do you know, I currently use the Router Salter 71. I don't get out as much as I'd like because of work and obviously family commitments and weekends and such like. And the last 2 weekends I was at Rodney Cook and Detectable. But I'm off this week, and I actually went out with a friend yesterday. We went out with Dudley Metal Detecting Group near Wolverhampton, and there was one particular signal that I got, and I went down. You've seen the size of me. I'm 6'1". I went down to below elbow. It was a piece of iron, but what a signal I was getting at that depth. So yeah, when it comes to depth, I fully appreciate that. My friend who I went with, he's got a bliss tool at home which he uses semi-regularly, and some of the depths he's got to with that is phenomenal. So yeah, depths.
Has he just got that then, or has had it a while, that bliss tool?
The bliss tool, he's had version 5, the Beast. He's had that for maybe about 4 or 5 years now.
I've just sold one on eBay, which was Stuart. I just sold it about last week.
Yeah.
He's had it in his locker, God knows how long. But we sold the bliss tool to somebody. I don't know who it is down south somewhere.
Now the bliss tool, obviously being a technophobe, the bliss tool was just far too much going on for the likes of me to understand.
It's too. That's really, really high tech. There's too many.
It's like an aeroplane.
Gareth Howard asks, what are your thoughts on non-motion machines?
They're gone. You don't really get them anymore, do you? C-scope make them still, but they're not. They're a thing of the past.
And of course, C-scope have got the new EV6000, which their first fully digital. Looks a nice machine.
Like a good machine.
Yeah, it does. I had to play with that.
And it's C-scope, so it'll be well built.
When we were at Detectable, did I tell you the little story about the C-scope that was given to myself?
Yeah, but by your dad's or something.
Yeah, the picture that I showed you earlier.
I was going to say, is that in that picture? What you
that's exactly the one. The picture I sent you earlier showing me back in the 70s.
It's funny that when I looked at that picture, because I don't know. Do you know Colin Foster, John?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, well, my dad's just bought loads of machines off him today. I think there was 18 of them.
Bloody hell.
And there's loads, there's about 10 of them old ones, crook handle.
Wow.
Yeah,
I can remember. I can remember in one of the C-scope with a crook handle. I can't remember what model it was offhand, but that was I think one of the first machines I tried out, and just thought this crook handle isn't all that good on the elbow. But that's all they had.
They're a bit odd to all now.
Weird.
Well, that machine was brought to me. Things occurred in the past, and it was lost. And Alex Savage brought me that along. He said, "I've got a present for you in a boot," and he brought me that machine at Detectable. And obviously, being next to C-scope stall, C-scope Paul from C-scope got quite excited to see it, because when he joined the company, that machine was still in their array. And he said, "Does it work? Does it work?" I said, "It doesn't." 15 minutes later, he come back with a fully working C-scope.
We still have it working. They're a cracking team, C-scope.
Oh, they certainly are. Couldn't speak highly enough of them. I was fully gobsmacked.
Customer service is second to none.
Yeah, I've heard that myself. And as I say, I met Martin Bass for the first time last year, and Big Paul, and obviously Little Paul was there this year, and couldn't speak highly enough of them.
Yeah, and they never go faulty. You very rarely get C-scope. When we sell them, we never. I think we've had one back in about 4 years.
Yeah.
So tells you everything.
So what's your favourite? Tell me about some of your finds, Carl.
I've not really been that lucky. I've never had gold. I've had a lot of hammered.
I've not had gold, so it's two of us.
A lot of Roman, loads of Jettons. I've had quite a lot of them. brooches. But yeah, probably my best finds are. Was it last year? We got some new land in York, and we just hit this hot spot, and we dug about 9 hammered out in one day.
Yeah.
And they were all cracking.
Brilliant. And what about yourself, John? In 30 years of metal detecting, what would you say your best find has been?
Well, the best find was in the same place where I found the Roman coins. I was just doing this footpath, and I just got this cracking signal, and I dug this round circle of sod, and in metal detecting, a lot of people, they dig these like those golden bottle tops, not bottle top, milk tops. You see these golden ones. I don't know if you've ever seen them, and I dug any of them. But I just dug this piece of sod up, and out came this what I thought was a flattened piece of bottle, milk bottle top. And it just spun and landed on the floor, and I thought, no, that's a gold coin. Holy Toledo! Pulled it out. It was a James II guinea, and it was a rare one with a little elephant in it. And what a beautiful, beautiful coin. Yeah, that's one to remember. I've only had 4 gold coins in my 30 years, not many. I've got loads of jewellery, so. But I've had that much jewellery. I've lost count over the years. Just lost count of gold rings and with diamonds in, and pendants and chains. And I think the best one I've ever had going abroad was one particular time when I'd with a group of mates, and it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and my mate saying, well, we're a bit tired now, we're going to go back to the flat and have something to eat. He says, I think I'll have it. And I hadn't found any gold that day, I just found some money. And I said, I'll just give it another 45 minutes. Anyway, I decided to come out of the shallows, and I must have been about 6 inches away from the edge of the water, and got this cracking signal. I'm digging, I'm thinking, and I got up and I looked, and I had this big chain hanging over my scoop. Oh, whoa, bloody horror. Anyway, this chain was 34 inches long. I pulled the chain out, and it had one pendant and two gold rings attached to it. I thought, that's made my day. Now, I thought I couldn't wait to go back, so I started heading slowly back on the edge of the water back to tell my mates. I got a coin, and then I got another signet ring. Well, I think I was triply made up. I thought, a signet ring, that chain, those gold rings, I thought, you can't get any better. And I moved further on, I had another wedding band. Well, I think by then I was just like I thought I would lottery, to be honest. I raced back, and I just put all this gold in one hand, and I says, right guys, open your hand up, and I just found some as John. Opened it all up in this clump of gold chain and rings and signet rings, and they just went, oh, you lucky devil. But that's the most exciting time when I did find quite a lot all in one go, I don't think I've done better than that yet. But this chance, I'm still alive.
Is that on video put all on YouTube?
That one isn't, because at that time I was going back a bit. I didn't do much. I didn't have you see, you didn't have GoPros then. But I have got some clips of my present ones where I've been last year and the year before that. And that was leads with the other stories. That's how I got back with Carl's dad, you see, because I hadn't had a bit of a gap with Carl's dad, Stuart. I hadn't seen him for about 10 years because I moved over into Lancashire. They're from Halifax. I'm from Halifax. And with a group of mates in Ibiza, and I got out from my favourite apartment in Ibiza, and I'm heading to the water, and I see these 2 guys detecting in the water. And I went, hang on a minute. I know that guy. It's Stuart. I said, Stuart! And he turned and says, John! And ever since then, we've been best buddies. Linked up, demonstrating machines, selling stuff together. Best meeting I've ever had, I think, with Stuart, and now we're just best buddies, and now we're, of course, with Carl. It's absolutely brilliant.
So he's like Uncle John now, Carl.
Uncle John.
Yeah. I've got to get in trade.
Where should we go? So, how many site permissions have you got, John? Do you think?
I've lost it.
Lost count.
I've detected up in North Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, parts of Lancashire, and some sites. I've even forgot where the farmer's leading name and forgot his address, and some I went back to. I mean, over in Humberside. I've been to beaches in Blackpool, Wales, down Wales. Oh, and well, that's you don't have to have permission for the beaches, but North Yorkshire's my favourite. I mean, I've known one farmer for 17 years now, and he's just ploughed land up in North Yorkshire, and I'm always finding stuff there. But him and his brother, they've got, must have 500 acres, and I think I've only touched about 1% of it. Because where I live, it takes about 1 hour and 30 minutes to get up there, so it's not one of those places you just visit when you feel like it, and you can only go, as everybody knows, you can only go on ploughed land when they start cutting the crop, and it's stubble, and then it's difficult for stubble, and then there's like a small little window, which wasn't like that, but it is now, because now they're able to plough it, seed it, barrel it and seed it, all done within the same day. And some farmers will not let you on once it's seeded. Oh, not destroying the seeds that we're digging up, But this particular farm is brilliant. He'll just say, yeah, help yourself, and just got everything back nice and neat and tidy. So I generally go to North Yorkshire, but I'm just waiting for Carl now to invite me on this York site sometime. Put my name down, Carl. Carl,
we've got it, haven't we? But I told you the farmer, he had a brain hemorrhage, so we've got to wait for a bit.
And now you're obviously part of the War of the Roses as well, John.
He's on the wrong side, don't he?
Yeah. Well, I still have to bring my passport over, and try to speak Lancastrian. You know what I mean? I have to wear a white. A red rose when I come over here, and when I go back to where I come from, then it's back to white rose, isn't it? So, you've got to be. If you're born and bred in Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, you've got to still be happy where you come from. But yeah, I do get a lot of that. Say, oh, you're from Yorkshire. I said, yeah, I'm proud of it.
Carl, how many years have you been metal detecting?
Oh, my dad used to probably about 7, so about 23 years. So yeah, but I used to get dragged on when I didn't enjoy it.
You were the one who had to carry the shovel.
A little bugger, yeah. I used to push the haystacks over and throw my dad's shovel around. I want good company. But yeah, I've enjoyed it now for probably about 15 years.
Yeah. What machine are you currently using?
Oh, got the pick, haven't I?
Oh, well, yeah, fair dues.
Nearly the Equinox.
Is that you both for your machine of choice currently?
Yeah, to go to machine.
15 inch, isn't it, Cal? 15 inch, mate.
Yeah,
15
Equinox
inch,
15 inch panel.
Yeah, can't do without.
Yeah. It works anyway, so it's good machining.
Yeah, well, that's the best thing about it. It works in every, ploughed land, pasture, beaches, in the water. It's just cracking machine. I'm not
wired. Don't get deep hanging most machines.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking to take now the 15-inch search head to Ibiza, so
yeah,
and I've never done that before. So this is going to be interesting, going down a lot deeper, because as everybody knows, there is a lot of people detecting abroad, and the cream of the gold has gone. So you're getting incidentals of people what they've dropped probably in the season, and also things out of our range. Well, I'm hoping that this 15-inch search head is going to go down deeper and get more gold or reach gold that other machines don't get with a bit of luck. But we'll soon find out when I'm over this time with Carl's dad, Stuart, and I'm going over with my brother as well. I've got my brother's being detected at the same time as me, but he's not a staunch detector as I am. He's a Star Wars buff as I can. He likes to dress up in his Star Wars gear. He does do detecting with. He makes a lot of money for charity, I can, but he likes to do all this, TIE pilots and the soldiers, and I think he's got the officers' kit now, and he enjoys a bit of that. But he also enjoys, of course, going detecting with his brother. Don't like me finding all the stuff though, but I say, keep with me, mate, keep with me. And then the other day, he went off detecting in his field, and I found hardly anything, and he says, I got hammered. Oh, well done, Ken. I says, it's only 5 years in the making, but you got there.
I don't know. Family, eh? I went to my brother's today. He collects English coins, auctions and such like. So I had to take him stuff down, and I come back with a massive bag of foreign money that he buys at auctions, and he sorts it out and throws the foreign at me. So if ever anyone wants to do a seeded event, I can give them thousands of bloody foreign coins.
I've got a lot on my eBay at the moment.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me a load 20 years ago. They gave me a big bag of them, just like your brother. He gave me a bag of them, and I just think, what am I going to do with these? They're all 1960s of all European coins, and I put them on eBay and sell a few now and again, but I suppose you're not worth much, are they? We're still finding foreign coins abroad. The Deutschmarks and the francs, and we're still finding stuff like that abroad in the water.
He actually gave me a coin a couple of weeks ago. I'm trying to look for it as we speak. I think I've got it in my hand now. I think that's the one, maybe not. Yeah, that's the one. It's about 2.5 centimetres diameter. I've asked Mike about him, sent it pictures, but Mike can't identify it. So it looks like it's a dove, it looks like a dove carrying an American flag with some olive branches underneath, and on the other side stars all around the edge with a female image on it, a bust on it, and buggered if we can find her. Automatically presumed it was American, but I don't know if it's a token or what. Silver, quite thick as well, so I'll have to put some pictures on and try and get that identified.
Yeah, you'll send it me one. You'll send me the picture, I'll have a look.
Yeah, I will do, yeah. Anyway, where were we?
Another story, anybody?
Yes, we'll have your stories. Crack on all night with that. Yeah.
Well, I was out in Mallorca again, and we're going 25 years ago now with a group of friends from Halifax, and who was in Playa de Palma, and topside of Playa de Palma. I had my dry suit. It was winter time. It was cold, and my mate said, he's older than me, and he said, "You go in the water, test the water, see if test the ground, see if it's okay." So they dropped me off. They went to go park the car, and I went into the water for about an hour and a half, and I didn't find much. At that time, I had a PI, and I didn't find much. So they came, parked the car, had a coffee. They come for me for a bit of a report. So I says, "Well, not much in there." And we're walking along, and they're in my dry suit, they're in my scoop. They've got me machine in my hand, and we're walking up on the side of the path. And there's quite a lot of tourists still about at that time. And I'm walking on the film back to the car and just having a bit of chat and having a plan where we're going to go next. And behind me, I hear this whistling. I didn't think much of it, to be honest. I was continuing to talk to mates, and this whistling got closer and closer to me until this guy with black trousers and a t-shirt starts pushing this car in front of me, and I just thought it was timeshares. When I looked, it wasn't. It was the Guardia Seville, and I went, "Whoa, what's the problem?" And he starts jabbering in Spanish, and I didn't know the word he says, and he's there on the phone jabbering away. My mates are just saying, "Whoa, what's the problem? What's the problem?" Then this police van pulled up, and they opened the door and whacked me straight into the back of the car. Well, I was in deep shock, wondering what the hell's going on. Door slammed behind me. I'm in there with this copper, and my mate's outside pondering what the hell's going on. I thought, hey, he's going to get carted off the brick, and what's happened, Anyway, eventually he rings the head office, and he gets them to speak English. Anyway, I explained to him that I was a detectorist. I says, "Has the law changed? Blah blah, this and that, blah blah." And when he explained to me why they pulled me in, well, I have to laugh myself silly. He's laughing, and this other policeman, ain't got a clue what's being said. Anyway, what happened was that in Mallorca they just released a load of prisoners to clean the big massive yachts in dry suits, and they thought I was an escaped prisoner. I opened the door, laughing my head off, and my mates are still pondering with that straight sort of face, and I went, "You won't believe what I'm going to tell you." And then when I told him, he just cracked up with laughter, and they just left us to go on his own way, But To begin with, it's a bit of a shock when you think you're going to be pulled into a Black Maria or whatever they are, and you think you're going to be carted off in your dry suit and your machine to prison, you know. But funny to look back, but at the time I was bricking it a bit, you know.
Do you know, if Mike was actually on the show now, he'd be asking, what the hell is a Black Maria? We teach him something every week without fail, and he'd have loved that one. Thankfully, I'm a northerner, so I know what one is.
Yeah.
For those who aren't listening, the Black Maria was the old 1970s, 80s police vans that you were dragged into.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember that being dragged into one. Is that talking from experience, Dave?
No, I was far too young then. Comes from my parents talking about them. There's always a black. Well, I'm from Ellesmere Port, and it was. There's a lot of crime in the area in the olden days, so there was lots of people brought into the Black Maria then. Oh, and Mike's actually listening, so Mike, that's what a Black Maria is. So he's we've got a chat room on the if you go to the Spreaker.com and you look for the big podcast, the big metal detecting podcast, sorry, obviously it'll pop up there, and then when you're on that page, it'll give you a list of all the shows that are on there, and currently, obviously, yourselves being a live show, it says the big podcast with guest John Bradbury and Carl Midgley, and it pops up live, and there's a speech bubble. Just underneath is like a player at the bottom of the screen, and if you press on the speech bubble, then obviously there's the live chat. Now, one of the questions I must go back to, I apologise for not getting into it earlier, and I think I best ask Carl this question. Gareth Howard, he's pretty new to the hobby. He's currently using and he did tell me, a Viking 5 Series 2, which is second hand, and he wants to upgrade to something around the £400 mark. What would you recommend?
Simplex.
Now that's they'll be around £299, won't they?
$299 non-wireless, $399 wireless. Wireless, $399.
And when are they actually released into the selling domain?
I'm told now next week again. Keep getting told next week, but apparently everything's updated and they're on the way.
Brilliant.
So
if you wait a week, the Simplex is basically Nocta Macro's entry-level machine, which they launched via Mermaid at Detectable.
It's not enjoyable. It's easy to work, but it works like a top-end machine.
But how Dilek was trying to launch it was their price as a entry
it is
level.
price like it's way too cheap for what it is.
Scott DeBay said that Sid Perry's just released a video, the Simplex versus the Nox, and it absolutely crushed the Nox. So there's one of the first.
You can't discriminate against air tests and the actual, like the depth and everything else. So that you've got to do measurements in the actual ground itself.
Yeah.
That's my.
But it is a cracking machine. I used it to detect, but it's a crack for money. It's unbeatable, or as they say, unrivaled.
Well, when I was taking a walk around doing a bit of videoing, and I'm pulling up a business card so I remember how to pronounce his name. A chap called Andy Sabish, I think you might have seen
Andy,
him.
Yeah, he was at our stall quite a lot, Andy.
Yeah, he was a lot of stalls. Fair play. He went off. He asked Dilek, "Can we go and test it?" And he went into the field with one of the guys, and
Roman in
two Roman within 10 minutes. Two Roman, and then he brought them back. Went to the PAS. Went through the process with them, got them back, come back to the stall. He said, Dilek, can I have another play of it? I'm really enjoying it. Plays with it in front of the stall on the main ground, finds another Roman. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it does look a really, really good machine, and especially at the price. And obviously, John, waterproof, being that the Mermaid, which I'm sure you'd like to see out in Ibiza, was playing with it there.
I seen Mermaid. He were there next to it, weren't we, John?
Yeah. Well,
we're backstage.
The trouble is, though, there's that many machines out there. You could spend a fortune trying all those machines, and the problem with machines, it takes a bit of time. They're not 5-minute learn. It takes some time to learn the machine properly, and you've got to take it to the right environments to make sure you know how to work it. You know, the beaches, the cloud land, it's all different. Abroad, in the sea, you know, and on pasture. And until you can master all those levels, then you'll never know your machine properly. And then you can say to yourself, right, I've done all that, had a good play with them, what do I think about it then? And, you know, and that's where you can make some decision whether it's a good machine or it's not a good machine. But, you know, just an air test is nothing, or just taking it out into the pasture. It's not going to give you the 100% knowledge of that machine, of its capabilities, you know. And that's my opinion anyway. So, and it took me ages to learn the Equinox, because I took it all over the place in different environments. It took me a while, but once you master it, you know, it's great. I'm looking forward to putting the update on it to see if it improves it on what it is now. That's for certain.
It doesn't get rid of bottle caps, 100%.
That's absolutely superb, and I can't wait for that, because that's the first thing I started to find when I was abroad last time with it. Bottle caps.
Not ring pulls. Don't get rid of ring pulls, just bottle caps.
Well, nothing does it really?
No, that's it.
Just yet, but the Quest 60...
that Quest X10, you can knock a ring pull out with that and still get a gold coin, or a gold ring.
Yeah. Well, I've got to test... I mean, I've tested some of those machines, but not all of them, but I'll be testing those machines thoroughly before I put them into some YouTube clips up to verify what the settings are and how good they are, to be honest. I've done the X5. The X5 is a brilliant starter machine. I took that out. I've done some tests with it, and I took it out for a spin, and it's a cracking little machine for £160, very light, and the speed recovery is very quick, and for its money, you know, and it's well built. So for a starter machine, brilliant, and then it moves up. I think the Quest machines are good for the money. You know, well, and as you get up to the Pro and then beyond that, it comes a lot more high tech, but still sturdy, well built. I think, as far as I'm aware, they're going to make the Q60 with a large search head a standard and give you the waterproof headphones, I've been told, with it. Anyway, we shall watch this space. We'll just find out exactly what you get for your money.
That sounds a good deal.
We don't even know what price it is yet, you know.
Yeah,
so,
true.
But you see, like I said, me and Carl are stuck on the old Equinox 800 right now. Improved the program on that, great. And then if anything else better out there, which we're looking, because Carl selling machines so we can have a play with them. Hopefully, Carl, I might get my hands on a few more, just for me to play.
Well, see, we'll see.
We've got another question here from Gareth Howard that you might be able to assist with. He said he's watched a lot of videos on the Macro Cruiser. Does it work along similar lines now? I'm presuming he's talking about the Simplex or the Nox at that point.
Yeah, the Cruiser's got more features on it. The Simplex it's just a simple machine, but it works really well. So it's not as got much fine adjustments as your Cruiser. Cruiser and Amphibia, you can really fine tweak more programs. You can go into 99 tones. So it's quite a bit more on it. For depth, they'll probably both be about the same depth.
So is the Cruiser easy to use? As in, is there a standard setting that you can plug and play?
Every Nocta Macro machine is very simple to use. Everything's in front of you. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Menu is so easy to get through.
So I hope that answers that question, Gareth. I think it's time for another John story, don't you? In fact, what I should do is I'll get a load of little stories recorded, John, and then I'll have a jingle made, and every now and again in the middle of a programme I'll put a John story on.
Well, strangely should say that I've got two on my channel already, that I'm actually sitting in my office telling the stories, and I've done quite a lot already, but I've got to put them up and load them up,
Yeah.
And I just keep racking my brain. Oh, that's another one. Oh, that's another one. Oh, that's another
I
one.
came off him and my dad. They both do it.
Yeah. Oh, me and Stu, and we start talking. We just go back in time.
We were telling them today about when I don't know if you heard, they found the dead body.
Oh yeah.
You found the dead body?
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you that one.
Yeah, crack on.
We were in. I think we're in
House.
Airwood House. Yeah, it was the same time as my machine went down, and in this field it was next door to a wood, and somebody decided to go for a wee, and come back out again. Hey, there's a dead body in a car in there. And anyway, they found out later on it was one of the gamekeeper committed suicide because he found out his wife wanted to divorce him. He was going out with somebody else, so he put hose pipe at the back of his exhaust, put it into his car, and he did his 4x4, whatever it was, and committed suicide. It would.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. So we found a 4x4 Land Rover as well, with his metal detector.
I can beat that. I found a tank.
Oh, wow.
It's the story I can come up with there. This was early 2000s. I was using an old Garrett analog machine in Anglesey. Off we went, playing around. We were actually, me and a former friend of mine, we were working on behalf of CADU, the Welsh Archaeological Society, head of Welsh archaeology sort of thing, and we were in this area faffing about, and he's on one side of the field. I remember he had a white, and I go over this mound thinking, oh, this could be a burial mound. Obviously looked on maps, nothing of consequence. Over this mound, get to the top, and my machine was going absolutely mental. So I shouted my pal over he comes, started digging a hole at the top. We went about a foot and a half down, and found the entry hatch to a tank. And at that point he said, cover it up or we'll be here for weeks, because we'd have to report it and the military would be there.
Yeah.
But we found out thereafter, obviously after the Second World War, when they'd stopped making tractors and such like, because of obviously putting it into the war effort with tanks, a lot of tanks were stripped down massively and brought onto the land to be used as agricultural. So we believe that was the case, and it's just been obviously left, covered up and forgotten about. And I've been past several times since, and that lump's still there, and one day I'll find out who the landowner is and go and have a chat, I think.
Dig that out, man. He needs digging out, that.
Well, obviously I'm a lot more a lot more experienced and knowledgeable of what I can do these days, so I'd certainly be looking at that, definitely.
Yeah, well, I was at Blackpool Beach and detecting one sort of stormy night before night, and I got this crafting signal with one of the machines, and I pulled out a clip of 303 rifle bullets,
Yeah.
From the First World War. I thought that was unusual. Right on, all live in Blackpool Beach. I took it over to a policeman and said, hey, I've just found this in Blackpool Beach. Oh, I don't want it. They might fire off. Says, we don't like having live ammo. Oh, all right then. Says, put it in this bag or something. And a bit of reluctance. So some people don't like to handle live bullets, So.
When I was I organised a few rallies. My wife's auntie was the former mayor of Rochdale, so we organised a few metal detecting rallies in Rochdale for her, and one of them was just off the on the side of the motorway. Interestingly, there was actually a Bronze Age axe head found at that dig and a couple of Roman coins as well. But right at the end of the day, everybody's going home. The last person on the field came up to me and said, Dave, there's a load of stuff down there you might want to have a look at. So what's that then? And I believe there'd been some not so much reenactments or training exercises, but there'd been people on the land who did army events and such like. And I think we come home with shell, the big petrol things, green army petrol things, shell cases, all sorts, absolutely all sorts. That was a good find as well.
Well, yeah, I think I had something similar, and I was with a mate of mine, and I got this solid sound, like a tin sound. I thought, what the big piece of bloody metal? I thought, God, this ain't a coin, is it? Dug it out, and it were a flipping massive, big, full shell, and I made it with my spade. I think I took a couple of steps back and say, I think we'll leave that, mate. Because they're quite dangerous, these things. Even though they've been stuck in ground for a long time, they might go off, you know.
Well, they have the same issues when magnet fishing as well, bringing up the guns and the ornaments and such like up with the police, because there's all sorts of occurrences where they've had to have bomb disposal out in the last few years.
Well, it can be sort of minor. I mean dangerous, but I think it's more dangerous in Europe, where there were a lot more Second World fighting going on over there. You know, and a lot more equipment and weaponry over there, and they still found it to this day.
Yeah,
you know.
Gareth's apologised. He lost sound during the answer to the Simplex v Cruiser on usage. Basically, they're more or less, am I right in saying, going to do exactly the same, but the Simplex is simpler to use?
No. There's been less features on the Simplex. You can't fine tune it as much, and then it's not as many tones. Obviously, it'll go more or less the same depth, I should imagine. You've got more programs, more fine tuning, more. Yeah, but it's more on the Cruiser.
Mm-hmm. Now, as a chap just entered the chat room, a friend of mine, Tony Kaywood, one of our long-time listeners, and also hello to Scotty B and Andre Figueiredo, who I always say his last name wrong. Excuse me, but Tony, I've got to thank. Yesterday, I went out with Dudley Detectorists, as I said earlier, and Tony's part of Team Routus UK, and they've got the app for you to go and use, obviously, for Team Routus. So they've got all different settings for different people within Team Routus, plus Arik, the person who actually made the machine in the first place. And I've always had not so much trouble, but I've done a lot of detecting with the Routus and not had extreme amounts of luck. I used Tony's settings yesterday, and it was like shedding peas. To the point that I had I had a silver thimble, and I had another silver thing which I thought was hammered as it was coming out the ground, but it was more jewellery-esque, let's say, same patina and everything, and you pull out a hammered coin. Unfortunately, me being me, I had my little finds box, which just reminded me to pull my other one out to remind me to take out tomorrow, and I also had the jewellery loop in the jeweller's loop in this particular box, and because I'd turned it on its side, the box didn't shut properly, and what happened? Yes, that lovely little silver thing's disappeared off the face of the earth, and I've checked my bag, my pockets, it's in a field in Wolverhampton somewhere. So thanks, Tony, for them settings. Damn.
It's all about where you get the right settings for the right field, and can't go wrong.
Well, obviously, with the old Router Salter 71, there's so many different things I believe that you can do with it. Obviously, the changing of the 71 different frequencies. Me being a technophobe, I picked the one person who I knew had a lot of luck with their machine from the people who I've followed from Team Routus. Picked Tony's settings, set mine exactly the same, apart from bumped the sensitivity down, and as I said, it was like shelling. I've got all sorts here, ferrules, buttons, coins, all sorts yesterday, so thank you for that, obviously. So I'm just thinking in relation to that, obviously, with you both using the Quest, is there a potential that you could up some Quest settings in the future for people to work off, perhaps?
Yeah, John does that.
I do all that. I mean, I've got some on pasture. I'm going to be working out some on ploughed land, because it's the year for ploughed land now.
Yeah.
So I shall be loading that up when I get back from Ibiza. But the one I shall be doing for definite, because I'm taking the Equinox out and the Quest Pro. I'll be doing the settings and the features when I go out to Ibiza in the water and on the beach. So it's that to come onto my channel when I get back. But definitely all that lot there will be sorted sometime next month.
John, I'm actually going to get onto your channel and talk about that shortly. I didn't realise we've been on it over an hour already, but we'll get to the channel shortly. One thing I did want to ask was, you've been obviously to a lot of places metal detecting in the world. Give us a range of ideas of where you've been to.
Me personally?
Yeah, detecting.
No one else.
Well, I've just really been Spain and the islands, to to be honest. That's all I've been, because you're not. It's quite uncomfortable to go a lot of European countries. I mean, Greece is a no-no, Turkey's a no-no. My mother's Italian, and I've tried to get into there, and they're starting to detect on the beaches and in the water, but you can only go to a certain time or certain beaches, and it's quite restrictive for tourists. If you live there, you know where to go, to see, how to talk to, who to talk to about it. At the end of the day, you don't want to be going detecting in a place where you're looking over your shoulder. That's not comfortable detecting. You want to go out because you enjoy the hobby and you're not going to get into trouble. You're doing it lawfully, and that's the main thing. And you're doing it sensibly as well. I mean, when you go detecting, I mean, the best time in summertime to go detecting is early morning till about 8 o'clock, and then all the tourists will be going in the water, and you're not disturbing them. And then during the night, during the evening, you know, about 6 o'clock onwards, when they're all going back for the tea, you go back in the water. I mean, it's different in winter time because everybody doesn't want to go into the water. It's too cold. You have to put a wetsuit on or dry suit on to get in the water anyway. So it's fine for going at that time of year, you know. And my plan is, I mean, I want to really set up a channel to go to different countries and try other countries out, which I'm hoping to do that with maybe Stuart or somebody else, you know, at the moment, and try to go further afield. But I'm not sure, because the law is pretty sort of hit and miss with certain countries. It isn't exactly yes you can go and no you can't with some countries. It's an unwritten law at the moment. They just say no you can't go and then that's it, you know. But in some countries there's no law saying you can't go. They just don't want the hassle. But obviously there is countries where you just cannot go. I mean I wouldn't go to Australia because it's just too far and it's too expensive, not worth it. But I'd love to, you know, to go to different countries, do my video and find different artifacts. Even if I've got time to back, I'm not particularly bothered. But just make the programs of that fascinating and interesting. Instead of just pulling out the normal English stuff, it's just to visit various countries and pull out some European artifacts. And that would be fascinating.
Andre, who I mentioned earlier, he's from Portugal. He lives in North Wales now. He says that Portugal's a no-no for detecting and it's illegal on the beaches. The laws are backwards there. Even everything belongs to the Crown. So don't be going on them beaches.
Yeah, I know.
Have you done much of the UK beaches? I.e. water and such like?
Yeah. Well, it's with being in England, it's tidal, isn't it? So you're not really in the water. You're just waiting for the tide to go out and just follow it down, you know. Like I said, I've done quite a lot of Wales and Blackpool and Bridlington and Scarborough, and I've actually recorded quite a few of those, and it's on my channel. A lot of those things I just been to Scarborough, and I went to Filey this year with my family, and I took the machine out, went out for a bit of a detecting spree and filmed myself, and I was quite lucky. I found a gold ring in each one. I was quite lucky, really. And I went to.
Don't be thinking I've not actually looked at your channel. I have been on your channel. I've not looked at loads, but I've looked at a few. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Well, I've got a load of. I mean, because I did editing for a living. When I first started, probably 20 years ago, I started editing quite a lot of my stuff up. So I've got most of it on DVDs and just did copies of DVDs to my friends and family. So what I've done, I've downloaded those DVDs now and so edited them and now ready to put up on YouTube. So I've got some old stuff up there. But the new stuff obviously is a lot better because you can put some free royalty music on without YouTube saying it's the royalties being claimed. And of course, when you actually put a bit of a clip on, you've got to make it interesting. You can't be spending 5 minutes digging an hole out, and that's what people don't realise. You know, it does take a bit of time to dig something out of the ground, so you've got to make it simple, still a bit of a coat and dig, and then come out with something, and then quick, what is it? Identify a bit of knowledge, and then move on. You know.
Yeah.
You've got to make it interesting for people and short and sweet. You know, and some people don't. You know, think, you've cut that up, you put it in, it's fake, and it's not. I don't have to fake anything. If I don't find the thing, I don't put the tube up. I don't put my clips up. It's only the tube, only the channel and film clips that I put up of actually where I found something.
Yeah.
It's not all the time, you know. I mean, there are thousands of clips up there because I go detecting on a regular basis, you know. But I'll leave you with another story that we're just testing out the Equinox, and I just got it in my backfield where I live, and I just did the CTX and did the backfield with the CTX before that, and then I got the Equinox out and tried it. I thought, I'll do the footpath where I'd just been with the CTX. Smack in the middle of the footpath. I couldn't believe it. I dug this sod out, and it was about 10 inch down, and I found a Nazi pendant, a swastika pendant, solid silver. I thought, what the hell is that doing in where I live? Swastika pendant, and the hallmarked 1910.
Yeah.
Beautiful bit of kit. Oh, a small little one, but swastika pendant. I mean, you don't get many of them in a bucket, do you?
Not at all, no. No. I always found it. That's obviously profound. I thought it was shocking and amazing that I found a Reichspfennig in the middle of Shropshire, but it turns out that they're very common in the UK.
Yeah. Found loads of foreign coins in this country. Fields and in places you wouldn't even think,
Yeah.
Amongst all the old stuff, all of a sudden, on a field, and it was just a load of foreign coins.
Mm. Scotty DeBay asks, John, if the tide goes out and the low tide mark is about a quarter of a mile away, do you go that far out like the beach is extremely flat?
No, I usually end up... the first thing is that when I do go detecting, generally, I just go out to the pier length and close to where most people are in activity, because you've got to study the beach and think, where would most people be? It's close to a pier or this side of the beach, because they wouldn't. I mean, nobody would go get the seats and sit, half a mile down on the beach there, would they? And sit down. They sit close up to the beach. So I just and on beaches, I'm searching for goalies and I'm searching for exposed pebbles. That's what I hit. So it's really doing a lot of searching, trying to find the areas that opens up on the beach. Going on to just normal sand, it's too deep. The artifacts and coins that are out of your reach. Moderns, you get your modern stuff. So I tend to try to go on when it's maybe a storm or it's had a good been lashing it down and it's out and there's some gullies from. Because I'm constantly looking, because you could spend hours looking for an area, not finding much, and then all of a sudden you come up to a gully and think, I hit that gully, and then things could come out of that gully, and if not, then you're finding another gully, or you, like I said, finding areas where it's opened up or the sand's a bit less and it's hitting hard pack.
Uh-huh.
It's no good just walking onto the beach where it's deep sand. You won't get anything deep, unless you've got a really deep machine. You might have a chance to, So it depends. You've got to study where most people will be going back in time, and I can't see thousands of people going too far out and right out 3/4 of a mile. Some will, yes, but you stick to the area where most activity of people will have been on through the years. That's just my opinion.
Mm. So your YouTube channel now, I can't do metal detecting videos on YouTube. I've tried, and the crap. I can't do them. Give me a historical location, and not in front of the camera, completely behind the camera. I can give you a complete rundown, historical facts, interesting things, etc., etc., and I can put a video together that it's not too bad. Yesterday morning I tried to do a metal detecting video. It ended up more magnet fishing and narrow boats because there was a canal next to the site. How long has your YouTube channel been in existence, and why did you actually start it?
Well, I started it because I thought I've acquired so much knowledge over the years and so much experience and funny stories and things happening to me, and seen so many wonderful artifacts and found so many artifacts and coins, and I just thought it'd be great to share these stories and experience to other people so that they could learn something by that, because there's nothing daunting about someone saying, I'd like to go detecting but I don't know what machine to get, because that's what I write at the beginning. I said to my friend, he says, well, what machine shall I get? I don't know. He says, what have you got? I've got a Garrett 80 whatever 3. I says, well, what shall I get with them? No, well, I don't know what you should get. And so I thought, well, if I give people my experiences and knowledge of settings and machinery and things like that, and direct them into a way where they could save them money, and at the same time have a bit of banter and humour, and and show them exciting finds if you put your time and effort into it. That's the reason why I did it behind that. And it's only probably within 12 months to maybe 14 months, and I've done that. Bit late started, I'm afraid, and I wish I'd started it a long time ago. It's now, people. I mean, I'm on Facebook, and I've got 4,800 people on Facebook, all over the world, sharing their stories, and it's just fascinating what people are finding around the world and experiencing. They're asking me questions, I'm asking them questions, and at the end of the day, it's knowledge about what the capabilities of certain detectors are, knowledge of your land, doing research, and cutting down the time factor of wasting your time on just on a willy-nilly field. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants to find some good artifacts with the machines. You don't want to waste too much time finding rubbish, which is obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
What I wanted to do was just to help people, and with the knowledge that I've gained. Going abroad is not easy. You just can't simply go abroad and think, I'm going to find a load of gold now. You've got to have the right equipment, the right scoop system, because I've gone through 4 or 5 different designs of scoops. You've got to know where you're looking at, very similar to a beach or land. You've got to know what part of the beach to go into. Is it soft in the sands? Keep away. Are you digging up ring pools? It's the wrong side of the beach, or do you go deeper? Do you go shallow? Is there weed in it? Is it too choppy? And then you've got to think about, well, is there people in the water? Shall I detect in that water? Do I want to upset people? No. You've got to sort of play it by ear. You've got to have some experience, and then you've got to know how to set your machine up, because not all machines, some machines need really fine tuning in the water to get its maximum depth, and it's without digging too much rubbish, because unfortunately in water you're going to be digging up ring pools, bottle tops, and all kind of things that you don't want to dig, and most machines will dig some of that up, because even some of the bottle tops are made of aluminium, and the fresh bottle tops are a nightmare, and even the old ring pools are the same noise as a normal gold ring 9 carat, and just experience that I wanted to pass over to people and help them out, really, in one sense. Share my experiences, and at the same time, with a banter, a bit of humour, a bit of banter, and I just like talking to people. I just enjoy meeting people. I just love making friends with the same mindset of the same hobby, and I've helped quite a lot of people who started off. I mean, people who just started off, they didn't know what direction to go into. And I just say, go for this machine to start off with, and then work your way up and things like that. And helped quite a lot of people. And a lot of them now are, they're finding some good finds, because there's some things that, so that I say make sense, So that's what I've done it for. And I just enjoy. I enjoy having the fun of going out, finding things. I mean, you can't beat being out in beautiful sunshine, 24 centigrade, in the water, crystal clear, the sun bouncing off the sun, and you're just swinging your machine in the water, boom, €1, boom, 50 cents, boom, 20 cents, boom, gold ring, and all day long you're just putting money in your pocket. And, call me capitalistic, but I enjoy finding things for nothing.
I've actually got another question to go back to from Scotty B, if I can find it. There it is. He's not done much beach detecting himself. How can you tell where a cut is on the beach? So I take it's got to be an area of consequence.
Right, well, what you're looking for is ditches, like troughs in beaches, and you're looking for pebbles to show. That's what you're looking for. Pebbles to show in troughs where it's cut out from the tide, and and you're only going to get that. I'm sorry to say, you're only going to get that in winter time. You've got to wait for your storms, heavy winds, and then you got to rush out to the beach and see what, because it opens up in different spots. I can go to Blackpool and it's opened up here, and it's opened up there, and it's opened up here, and it's closed down there, and it can close up behind you. You go the next day and it's closed up. It's weird. So it's trial and error, and I've been quite a few times been disappointed and gone, oh, 2 pence, 10p, and you know, £1, and because it's all closed up. So it's just luck, and it's to do with the heavy, stormy, windy weather, which helps you to look for open areas on the beach, and that's what you got to look for. Head for them. So you've got to be very vigilant, and that's, you know, don't waste your time on banked up sand. Okay, you're going to get your money. I mean, you can, if you want to go on a coin shoot, you can go on the side of the beaches where people have been sitting there, and I found money, you know, I mean, you know, 20 quid, £15 in cash, you know. I don't mind that now and again, you know, that's fine as well. We all like a good coin shoot, you know. I mean, you don't have to get disheartened when you're just finding the odd ring pull and the 2p. But a coin shoot's better than nothing, and you know, I mean, I found Victorian coins going back to 1850. I think the oldest coin I found in Blackpool Beach is 1697.
Really?
That's William III, sixpence.
Wow.
You know, and also if you get a target inside like a lump of what looks like coal, don't throw that away. It could be a coin in the middle of that. I had one time £0.5 in the middle of that.
Really?
More than often than the rubbish. You know, it's iron core or bits of metal or a bit of brass or something like that. You know, and I mean, I had one lump of black coal type stuff, and I thought, cracking signal. Opened it up, and it was, you won't believe it, George III halfpenny in cracking condition on Blackpool Beach. You know, it's rare, very rare is that, but it's nice to find, isn't it? And, you know, so you just never know what's in there. I mean, don't get, you know, don't think it's all good like that, because you pull a lot of rubbish out. I found a lot of brass stuff, Victorian, 1950s, 1960s brass rings, you know, cufflinks, brooches, you know, and you know. But I keep all that. I don't know why. I just sentimental. I like just finding old stuff. You know, but when it produces, you'll know. And I realise now that, I mean, I was just out in March, first time, 15-inch search head, got there after a storm, and this about 20 foot wide piece of beach opened up, and I thought, hitting that. I mean, you have to, you know, the trouble is, you and everybody else knows about that. So when I got there, I could have sold tickets. There were about 6 of us on the same spot sharing it. Anyway, I'm up and down, and I had 2 gold rings, and then up and down, and I went up and down, and because I like to sort of grid it, if you like, and I'm just following my next grid up to this point, and this detector was just coming in front of me. The detector's right in front of me, and I linked up with him, and he went, bloody hell! And I was about going to where he was going to go, and he found this fantastic bracelet with diamonds on. And I was just about to get there. I was a bit sick. I thought, that was mine, that was mine. You know? But yeah, you do find a lot of rubbish. Bullets, bullet cases, you know, lead bits, tin bits. But it's worthwhile. In between that, you find some old stuff. You just got to, you know, take your time and go when it opens up like that, really. That's what it really produces.
Now, one of your videos I was watching is on Time Team.
Yeah, I was working up for Channel 5, 1997, I think it was. I was working for Channel 5. It's just before it transmitted Channel 5. Their signal interfered with people's videos and TVs. And so Channel 5 had to employ what we call retuners. That's people to retune the video receivers and satellite receivers away from the Channel 5 signal. Anyway, where I lived in Ellen near Halifax, I did my contract there, and they said, right, do you want to be made redundant? Because I love the job. I couldn't wait to go to work. It was just brilliant. You got your own mobile, your own expenses. They pay me big money. I got paid on commission, earned a lot of money from it. But I just love meeting people. You knock on doors, oh yeah, and they met all sorts of people, all sorts of levels of people. Anyway, they said, right, do you want to be made redundant, or there's a last opening up in Middlesbrough? I said, oh, I'll go to Middlesbrough. So I went up to Middlesbrough, and I think one Friday night, I was going back to my digs with my mate. It was my turn to drive, and my mate was there in front seat there, opening his newspaper. Hey, did you know that the time team are here? Just as he said that, it was like rough sign saying the dig this way. I said, that's them. I've always wanted to get to the time team, and we're gonna go on. So I followed the sign, got there, and it was 5:30, and everybody left the dig, and there were a few people on the dig there, and I said, oh, where is everybody? So, they're in the pub, down in the pub. So I went down into the pub, searching for them. But I'm gonna join them, and if it kills me, I want to get on there now. Because the problem that I saw in the time team at that particular time, they didn't have, they were just, as you know, they were just digging soil out and making mounds of soil. And then I said, you need detectors to see what's in that soil, because there's artifacts in those soil there that could help with the program. And I thought, and I wanted to prove that fact, and I wanted to prove a fact that, because at that time they didn't like detectorists, I wanted to prove that we were an important tool, important people, we knew our stuff. So there were a couple of reasons why I wanted to get on. Anyway, I'm in car park, pulled up, and there with my Channel 5 gear on, and who was in the corner was walking in the park was Tony Robinson. And I went over to Tony, I said, hiya Tony, I said to my mate, what? Listen to this. Hiya Tony, long time no see, never met him before in my life. Hiya Tony, long time no see. And he looked at me and went, yeah, it hasn't been a long time, isn't it? You know, where did I see you last? I thought we down in London, we were doing another dig or something. Oh yeah, I remember now. Anyway, Mum was just chuckling in the background. I says, so what have you come for? I said, oh, well, I'm a detectorist. I'd like to help them on the site. You know, oh yeah, we're looking for somebody to help out. So I went in. He says, go see Tim Taylor, manager, the director. So I went into the pub, and they're all there chatting away in the group. And I went straight up to Tim, and I said, Tim, I'm a detectorist. You know, do you want some help with on the dig? You know, I said, yeah, sure, yeah, we're looking for a detectorist. So I went on, and the next day, I know I'm finding all sorts of artifacts for them. I just thought, I'm proving a point here, I found an Henry VIII groat, I found a medieval silver spoon, spindle whorls, all sorts of stuff for them. And they're all excited then. Tony's excited. Anyway, when I found this Henry VIII groat, you know, I said to Phil Hard, I says, Phil, come over here, look, I found this. Oh, what have you found now, John? I says, I found this cracking coin. Oh, we'll get that on film. So I got it on, so I came over and I said, what is it? I said, well, I think it's either Henry VIII or Henry VII groat. You can tell by the chubby cheeks, pointy nose, short bob there. Says, you know, Henry VIII, I think. I'll go back to my car and get my book. Great, okay. So he's holding the coin. I'm going back to the car, and Tony Robinson says, what's happening? So I've just found a cracking coin. Oh, we'll get that in film. Get that on film. So they went over then to get the camera crew. Camera crew set up. I come back with my book. Do you know, that book opened up on the page of that coin. Can you believe? Just so quick, it's unbelievable. And I'm opening up, and I'm saying, oh, all right, I'm going to talk, matey. I'm going to tell them about, you know, we detectorists, you know, we're not some anorak people, we know our stuff. So the manager of the camera crew says, right, action. And I said, right, I found a Henry VIII coin with my metal detector. And then the manager said, cut. Cut. And I went, what? Phil to speak. Well, I looked and I thought, bloody charming, I've just spent weekend finding these artifacts, and Phil's going to get the bloody credit. So there I am next door to Phil, and he's saying, well, we found a groat, and we can tell it's Henry VIII because the short bob there, the pointy nose, the chubby cheeks is Henry VIII. I thought, I could have said that. Anyway,
you did say that.
I know, but they didn't have it on bloody film. Anyway, of course, they were filming about 5 minutes, you know, and I'm telling my mate, I'm going to be on channel, I'm going to time team, my mate said, when's it going to be on, you know? Oh, we went, Anyway, I think when it came up, 5 seconds. 5 seconds I was on, and then they said, then they sent me a book with all the artifacts I found, and they put down not one bit of credit that I found it, that Phil had found it out of his trench. I went bloody ballistic, absolutely ballistic. I sent him a letter and says, this is not right. He said, I found those artifacts. You don't have to mention me by name. You can just mention me that a detective helped you on the site. Give me some credibility. Oh, we're very sorry about that. And they just changed the message on Channel 5's webpage and said, thanks to John Bradbury who helped us find some of these artifacts, these metal detectors. And that's all really got credit to be honest. But they didn't like detectorists, and they still don't like detectorists. People don't realise that quite a lot of archaeologists, they just don't like them, because we're unpaid professionals, I suppose, and go and find a lot of artifacts from them. You just don't like it. And there's some of them, and including Tony Robinson, they want a ban detective. I don't think people are aware of that. But they still have detectorists on Time Team now. After that, they had detectorists on helping them out after what I did. So I hope that was the start of good things. Well, I think it was, because they had quite a lot of people on, found them some stuff. But if they could change the law, they'd stop detecting. So we're a powerful organisation behind us, the NCMD, and we're still here, still enjoying our hobby, which is brilliant.
We are. And the NCMD, as you say, we can't speak highly enough of them either.
Nope.
I spent a lot of time with John Rigby, Steve Clitchley, and Alistair, whose last name eludes me at the moment, at Detectable, and I'll be going down to one of their meetings in the coming future. That's all been arranged, and it'll be good to meet.
November?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going down because apparently I'm going to go down with John. John's from Blackpool,
Yeah. Well, it'll be good to see you there, obviously.
Yeah,
so
I'm going down. Yeah, I'm going down to the meeting. So with John to.
So it'll be good for me and you to see that side of what happens in the National Council for Metal Detecting.
Yeah, well, I said I wanted to help out as much as I can. So this, they want my input and help, because obviously I've done it for a long time. So whatever help I can help with the Metal Detecting Council, help as much as I can, because at the end of the day we have to look after it all, because it ain't just about money. It's just we enjoy the hobby, finding history,
Yeah.
And it's a passion for a lot of people, and for myself, because I just absolutely love detecting and finding history. Something that's been in the ground 500 years, 1,000 years. You can't put a price on that.
No, not at all.
This is why Bill Wyman from the pop group, he does it. It's not to do with the money. It's to do with the historical artifacts out of the ground and getting the buzz of that.
Robbie Williams too.
Yeah,
Sadly.
Robbie Williams. He's got his own land in Suffolk. He does it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he hasn't invited me down though. That's where I'm disappointed. To be honest, can't understand why.
Can I just ask Carly? You're still awake?
So,
He's there. That's usually Mike's question for me. That.
I've heard all this before.
So haven't you got a nice little story you can throw out for us, Carl?
I don't get out as much as him, do I?
Selling a lot, aren't you, Carl?
That's it. I'm too busy.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do, gents. We'll give out some information, contact details, what have you, where to find both the Detecting channel and Spinner Disc Metal Detectors, and we've been it's 20 to 10 already. Couldn't believe that. I've thoroughly enjoyed chatting tonight, John. I could see me sitting and listening to you for a good few hours in November.
You've enjoyed listening.
So, John, where can we find your YouTube channel? I know there's a few of the listeners who've actually subscribed tonight, but for others who don't know, where can they get hold of you?
Well, you just put into your search engine John's Detecting Adventures. That's all you got to do, and you'll find me there. You'll be able to scroll down and see me detecting on ploughed land, pasture land,
Time Team,
beaches, Time Team, and there's more to come. And settings for the Pro, for the Quest Pro, settings for the Equinox, and there's more to come. More help for people to the settings for other, and then of course the new machines coming on. So I'll be trying out demonstrating more machines as we go along. Because there's one there, the Golden Masker, another cracking machine for hammered. Testing that out at the moment, and that's a machine to be thinking about too for ploughed land. So there's a lot on and there's a lot to come. John's Detecting Adventures. That's where I am. Just any comments, any questions, anything I can help with, just try to get in touch.
There's one of your videos you ask anybody got a JCB, and I responded to it last week. I work there, if that helps.
Yeah, that was that big stone quern that I was digging out.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what were under it, you see, and I was thinking, what the size of this bleeding stone here? And I'm getting this crack, because as you know and I know, machine, detectors go under stone, So, yeah.
Marvellous. And Carl, where can we find spinner disc metal detectors?
Type it in on Google and you'll find us. Or Facebook, anywhere. We're everywhere, or in magazines.
And obviously Spinner Disc and yourself, John, are both available on Facebook as well.
Yeah. Got a load of people on Facebook, and anybody who wants to ask any questions and wants to talk and wants some advice, just get me on Facebook. But you've got to be a detectorist or a treasure hunter of some kind to get on. So, because we already know other people with other interests that we don't like, But there you go.
Well, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Apologies again for both listeners and yourselves that Mike's system crashed at the start of the evening. And, Tony Kaywood said he's been to the Spinner Disc HQ, a garage in Halifax.
That's it.
So, apologies to everybody for the messing around at the start. Obviously, this was one of the reasons why the Big Metal Detecting podcast was put together, so we have a fallback option if Mike's system does go down all the way over in America, because obviously they're still run by Steam over there. So thank you, John. It's been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to seeing you in November.
Yeah, great. Yeah, no problem. If you anytime you want to do another podcast and there's some more stories, just give us a bell.
Oh, don't worry, I certainly will. And Carl, again, it's been a pleasure. I'm sorry you haven't had much time to speak. I've tried to give you a lot.
No, done very well. So I knew I won't be speaking much when you said you were getting him on.
I think you actually prayed I had him on, didn't you?
You what?
You actually prayed I was having him on as well, so you didn't have to speak much yourself.
Right. I'm happy listening. Yeah.
Well, thank you both again very much.
It's
been an absolute
pleasure. Me and Cal will have some stories, to tell, because we do, we're going to get detecting together with me and Cal.
Yeah.
At some stage, so. And
hopefully I'll have some more to tell, and I'm in a position where I can actually get out more myself. Yesterday and tomorrow, that's twice in a week, and that's unknown for me.
Well, if you want to come over, and give me a call, I'll take you out, mate.
Much appreciated.
Best time of year, because there's a lot of ploughed land where I am, or available at the moment. So.
Brilliant. Much appreciated. No well, that's the end of the show. I'm going to do the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine outro. So thanks to you both again. It's been an absolute pleasure, and look forward to meeting you both and speaking again in the future. And I'm Dave Sadler, and this is the Big Metal Detecting podcast.
Brilliant, thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye.
The Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine acts as a hub for information, offering articles from archaeologists, detectorists and other specialists throughout the genre, featuring many links, event info and news articles associated to archaeology and metal detecting. We also offer professional review services and promotion for books, resources, videos, documentaries, gadgets, equipment and much, much more. The magazine is run by the archaeological and metal detecting community for the archaeological and metal detecting community. So come visit us at archmdmag.com, that's archmdmag.com, and check out information from our media section with all the latest content, news from the Archaeology channel, podcasts and the YouTube channels that feature the now legendary Digger Dawn, the Man with the Hat and Archeo Duck, just to name a few. If you would like to offer an article, link or inquire about other services, then pay us a visit at archmdmag.com and drop us a line.